Allegiance in Texas pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right. So I don't believe we have any announcements on disclosure of any conflicts of interest on anything today. We don't have any public comments either. I mean, just you'll just be sitting. I guess you'll be speaking for the FW. Okay, so we're gonna move on to presentation reports. Ms. Hutchinson, Ms. Donna.
And this is just extra paper. It's not, I'm not gonna talk that long.
It's all right.
Good evening, everybody. I appreciate you letting me come and talk about the library. This probably should be the time I thank y'all for the support we get. We are one of the more fortunate libraries in the county, is that we're able to function at 100%. And so that is due to, I think, the diligence for the last, I know, 18 years that I've been here. It's just, the support has continued. Betsy, do you have my statistics on your thing? I gave you some paper, and I thought it would be quite interesting to look at the last 3 years' statistics. I thought about putting 2007 when I came, but it was a different ballgame that year. So, the best part about those, and I think it's something anybody that has grandchildren or anybody involved at the school, is if you'll compare the month of May, our school this year got out a lot earlier. And I thought, you know, why would it affect us? But if you'll look, our statistics on May, books being checked out by both students, children, and adults, almost doubled. So we actually reaped the benefit of school being out early. And so that was really, really nice. We've had to tighten our belt, but in a community like ours who is literate and does support the library, we've had people come in and pick up the slack. EDC gave us wonderful new computers. The city provided a strong Wi-Fi and the internet. And people are going out and buying books at their airport trips or at their trips to Ollie's or whatever. So we're receiving a lot of brand new books that we're not required then to spend our money. So we're healthy. And that's the best thing you can be in this particular budget year for everybody, not just the library. I do know that it's been necessary, like I said, but we have people donating paper and toner. We're still able to give a little bit of extra service to people that come in. They get the first 10 copies free. And we actually started that when the students were coming in. And you and I might not think 50 cents out of our pocket, you know, if we're going to go get a cup of coffee or something. But for a kid coming in here and he needs 4 copies, he might not have those 2 quarters. Yeah. So we're real fortunate.
Well, even for people, I think I've heard people say, you know, about resumes.
Yes.
You know, coming and working on their resume and being able to use the library for that kind of stuff.
Well, because of the strength of the internet and that, we're able to have quite a few programs in our computers and leave them there. In fact, we have the Resume Maker, we have Monster Inc. or Monster.com, which is for jobs. The IRSs are on there. I have Workforce on there. I now have the driver's license on there. So because we have enough width on it, we're able to keep all that on there all the time. And I gave you these statistics, but I also wanted you to look at the next page, which is the third. Because GED is an important part of our library. The first page I gave you is an older, I'm on the library board for Santa Cruz County Literacy Commission, and I thought you might want to see we don't just give them a GED book and turn them loose. There's a lot of other projects going on. At the end of that meeting, which I think was April the 7th or something, we only had 5 students. I've been going back and forth in there because at the end of the month, we had 12. We just signed up 3 more. So it's
Fantastic.
quite useful here. It's not a program that they have to come every time because they're working people that life just got in their way and they weren't able to finish their diplomas. I want to have a shout out now to our teacher, Ann Whitten. Most of y'all know her. The county is not paying the instructors through the summer, but she's giving her Tuesday. So that's, to me, above and beyond, and I'm so proud of us having her as a teacher. Also, and I think I gave you a sheet that has an invitation, and this is to each and every one of you here, and anybody you might know. We're having a graduation ceremony. We have students that are graduating, and it's cap, it's gown, it's the entire ceremony, and it's a meal, and it's all sponsored by Chenier.
Oh,
They buy their
awesome.
cap, they buy their gown, they provide the food, the decorations. And we opened it to the public because one of the greatest things of walking across and getting a diploma anytime, I mean, I don't care if you're in kindergarten, walking across is that audience.
Yeah.
Somebody seeing what you accomplished. So I did want you to see that. It's June the 11th. If you don't want to come early enough to have the meal, because they kind of want you to RSVP to that, it would be great to try to get there right around 6:45 or 7 and see the ceremony. So I wanted to include that with all the other pages. Something else, summer's coming, and the next page, Mr. Kippy's still here. He's on his 2nd generation of parents. I have parents coming in that saw him when he was their children's librarian, and they're bringing their little guys in. So he's an institution. And this year it's Unearth the Story. He came in to introduce it the other day in a safari outfit with a stuffed dragon sewn to the rear of his coveralls like it was biting him. I mean, he is so creative. And he's going to be here every Wednesday in June from 4 to 5. That's not the only program we're having right now. On Wednesday, Coastal Bend, Tidewaters, and Delta Preserve, they have a lady that comes here, and she's doing a program from 12 to 1, 1 to 2, and 2 to 3, 3 different sections, if people want to bring their kids. It's just an enrichment thing. They needed a place to have it, and of course, I knew the city wouldn't mind, so we're having it here. We held in the council room, so we do have those two. Well, Mr. Kippy in July goes on a sabbatical. That's when he goes out and spreads his humor and his goodwill to other cities besides Santa Patricia County. So in the past, we've just kind of been happy, for him. But this year, we're going to have something. We've decided we're going to have something ourselves. So the library board, I have a wonderful library board, is going to, for 3 Wednesdays, present a fun program. One of them's on sign language. One of them is going to be about planting things and what you can do, But the best one is the Lions Club on, yes it is, I'm so excited. They're going to have a reading beach party, July the 29th here at the library. And so I'm very, very excited about that. I'll be putting it on the marquee with hopefully pictures and stuff. So we're not going to let the summer drag. We need the kids to have something to do. If you haven't been by the park, I can tell you what most of them are doing. They're over there playing. It's used a lot. I'm very, very amazed. I'm on my 3rd bottle of mosquito spray.
Well, I had to go open the bathrooms last week because I got a call from some parents. It was still daylight outside, and the bathrooms automatically lock at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I said, I'll be right over there right now. So I came and unlocked the bathrooms and left the doors open a little bit for them. So I said, when you guys are done, can you at least just come and close the doors? And they did, because I came back at around 10 to check them. And So I said, yeah, of course. I mean, if they're using it, I
They're,
mean,
they're there at 7 o'clock when I leave on Tuesdays, most Tuesdays. So that's gonna be a really important thing for them all summer. I welcome all your suggestions. I do have a little bit of a serious thing to say. I had 10 volunteers when I started here in 2007, and 8 of them have passed away, and 2 of them no longer live here. And volunteers were always a very easy thing because everybody just gave of their heart and came and volunteered. But government has put their foot in so many things, federal, state, and you have so many guidelines now because a public building, a public library is what they consider could be a site for unparented minors. So when you have a volunteer that comes in, we as a city and me as a librarian would be liable should there be a problem with the volunteer. So therefore you have to go through all the steps of a background check and it would be at our extent, and several other things. I have the guidelines. I'm gonna share with that on our workshop when we do our budget workshop. So, but the heart is out there. I mean, the heart is out there that want to help. It's just getting it through the steps and the hoops we have to go through. But that's kind of my report. Do you have any questions?
So you don't have any volunteers now?
No.
So you're needing, so I'm hearing you're needing
Well, during the
volunteers.
school year, I'm pretty lucky.
Right.
Because I have a lot of parents that take their kids to school, and I have kind of a coffee clutch in the morning. Some of the young mothers come here, and they'll bring their coffee, and they visit and whatever. And so I have physical work done. The hardest part is when I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's really the only time we need a volunteer is when I'm out and about.
Okay.
Thank you, volunteer.
But I do appreciate what you do.
Never
for
know.
us. I think what we don't realize is we ask citizens to pay taxes, and follow our rules. And this is our thank you. The parks and the libraries, I thank you to the citizens. And I think Odom does a bang up job supporting it, both of them. So that's all I have to say.
thank you, Ms. Donna. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Donna.
And
I
I
think
appreciate
you do a
everything you
bang-up
do.
job.
I enjoy it.
Yes.
I've only done it 50 years. This is my 50th year.
Bless your heart.
And I keep being told, well, when are you gonna retire? I'm gonna retire the morning I get up and say, I don't wanna go to work. It's time for me to be gone. So that had to happen.
Thank you, Donna.
We're
Well, that's
blessed.
good for us.
We're blessed.
All right, we're going to move on to the discussion and action items. Item A, discuss, consider, and take action to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on May 5th. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from May 5th, 2026.
I have a motion by Alderman Falcone, second by Alderman Veit. So we'll go ahead and open it up for discussion. Let's see, I didn't see anything. Yeah. Y'all see anybody, any corrections, anything?
I don't think
I didn't
so.
see any. That.
Mm-mm.
All right, then we'll go ahead and move on with a vote. Place one.
Yes, I
Please.
wasn't here, but I was still voting. I saw everything on this.
Okay.
So yes.
Place two,
Yes.
place 4,
Yes.
and place 5.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed.
Just wanted to make sure. Okay, so that was-
All right, item B, discuss, consider, and take action to approve the lowest bid out of 6 bids that were received on the 2026 street improvement project submitted by J. Carroll Weaver with a total base bid of $347,990.67. Do I have a motion for that?
I make a motion that we go ahead and award the bid to J. Carroll Weaver.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Alderman Huerta and a second by Alderman Falcone to accept the bid submitted by J. Carroll Weaver. Hector, if you could just come up and kind of just fill everyone in on what you've been working on for us.
Yeah, this is for the street project, the street for Church, Warren, Hancock, West Baylor, and Klein. We're looking at doing like a key course, some level up, and, fixing all the potholes in low areas on Church, Bourne, Hancock, and Klein, and on West Regular, we're looking at doing a mill at Overlay. We should just go in there and grind an inch and a half, and then come back with, inch and a half of hot mix. Cause I know that's a well traveled street, and you have like,
That's one by the school, right?
yeah, you have the pool, and you have a church, and
Yeah,
stuff like that,
okay.
so you have a lot of traffic going in the street.
So you're talking about Baylor from the highway
From the highway.
to the tennis
Back.
courts over there to the,
All the way
to
to.
Cook.
Yeah,
Right, just want to make sure that we're,
yeah, the tennis courts, the swimming pool.
Yeah, that street's all eaten up.
Heck,
Yeah.
those big dips on Baylor by the church and the next
Mhm.
street, are they gonna fix those also? You know, because it's a big dip.
Yeah,
Major bid.
yeah, we could look at, I know we talked about if we're gonna do some drainage, maybe using some of the drainage district funds.
You know what I'm talking about, right? I think
Yeah.
everybody's
Yeah.
hit those before.
Well, there were culverts, but they
Yeah.
were all cracked.
Yeah.
So we filled them in with asphalt.
Yeah.
Because
But then we have been there to do some base repairs and stuff like that, that will bring us to, so we'll look at them, and then if it's a drainage issue, we can.
the drainage district last time
Yeah, fix them on them.
Okay,
fixed up a bunch of them, so you're right, we can
Yeah.
use a lot of that money for all these culverts that,
Sure.
like behind where the post office is, they're all cracked and
Yep.
broken.
I think what I run into with the drainage district now is they want us to go ahead and
Pay for it?
not pay for it, but to go ahead and go through the process of either contracting it out or whatever, and then they'll reimburse us or they'll pay it, you know? We've done-
We give them like a recommendation or like a letter to them saying that the city's gonna use it for drainage and they'll release the funds and we'll do a project, bid it out.
Yeah, so we're gonna work with, done well. And we also, I haven't heard back from the two stores about Nolan Street because Nolan Street was one of the parts on our list, but I didn't want to go over there and, because that's really bad. But that'll probably be one of our next things right there between the two stores, the Dollar General. If the two stores don't want to kind of help us out in getting that road done correctly.
Some of their
But-
trucks.
It costs like, well, last time we did stripes, it cost $250,000 for 12 inches of concrete, and rebar was every 12 inches, so.
And it's it was a shorter piece
Imagine how
too.
much.
So, but between the
But
two
you're right,
stores,
yeah.
I mean, we might get
Well,
some
especially
assistance
the
there.
Family Dollar, they're the ones that use that
Yeah.
side street.
Well, the Dollar General
Those Dollar General trucks come in and
come
go
in and
through
they go
that
through the
field.
alley. Yeah, so if we have to spend our money to have it milled and then we'll just put no semi trucks
There
outside or
used to be a
something.
sign
Well, the
there.
thing
There
about it,
used to be a
there's no
sign.
alley, there's no alley behind Dollar General.
That's correct.
So technically, if somebody,
Fix
if
it
that
up.
owner wants to go ahead and block it off and say
Absolutely.
nobody's gonna park there, then Dollar General can easily say, hey, we don't tell people to come across.
Yeah.
So
But
has anybody go through
Yes,
they go through yours
they go
sometimes?
through mine, through the back.
Yeah.
Sometimes they hide back there or they go all the way around. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I got a question with that. Since we got water lines in most of these streets, are they gonna define them, the valves and stuff, so we know we can get to them easily? You
And
want to
that's,
talk about, we got,
Yeah, they'll find them, especially on the milling and stuff, they're gonna have to find them, so they don't,
and mark them so we know they're,
yes, and that we talked about that because we've had to go out there with a metal detector and locate some that had already been paved over in the
Right.
past. So we've talked about that if they're gonna go in there, try to help us locate them
Right.
and then, do whatever
Yeah,
needs
and
to
the
be.
manholes too.
The manholes.
Yeah. yeah, okay, good.
So-
That's some good.
So that's all kind of gonna be working.
Yeah, and the next step, we'll just send the contracts, they'll get their bonds, and then we'll have a pre-construction meeting.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to it and we have a couple other street projects that we want to kind of hopefully work on in the future. And of course, we have the drainage stuff that we want to,
Jake Weaver's just down the street, so.
yeah,
We worked with him, I worked with him for like 25 years, so.
fantastic. Well, that's good.
I'm probably asking a stupid question, but is there any idea of how long this will last in the streets? It's just been recently that area just started breaking down. Because that's
Well,
my area, so
But keep in mind
That
that
has been broken. down.
nothing's been done in 5 years.
I know.
Cause it
There's no
usually lasts
oil.
5 to 7 years, it's
Yeah.
like a maintenance, but
Yeah, the
And
maintenance.
it all depends on the drainage, but we're taking the potholes, we're leveling out the low spots and everything, so.
Yeah.
To get our, and then most of these are curb and gutter, so we're trying to get the water in the curb and don't let it sit on the street.
And then you can't predict the weather either.
Yeah, you can't. I
Yeah,
understand, but I
yeah,
just
'cause
wanted to
that-
have
that's
kind of an
gonna be hard.
idea.
Yeah, and I know a lot of them are cracking, so this
Yeah.
is still on the cracks and stuff like that, so the water doesn't get in the basin. You get
Well,
more-
that's what I'm saying. There's places that they go in and use oil
Yeah.
to cover the cracks.
Yeah.
And, so maybe we could do that, so to save it a little longer.
Well, I think that, it's right. I think we've actually, Hector and I walked out some of these streets and, I mean, we could see where the slope throughout the years has kind of, so there's areas in y'all's neighborhood too, where there's water being held on the
Right,
street instead
it
of
is.
going to the curbs. And then, of course, that water gets between the cracks and stuff, gets underneath the base, and then it starts just like tile in a restroom. It
Right.
starts popping up. So we did talk about, making sure that when they do come, that the slope is correct, the water's gonna flow in the right direction. We want to try to avoid that kind of puddling on the street, so
Yeah,
we'll,
the gentleman across the street from me, he always has standing water, like a week after it rained or whatever. It's
so,
terrible.
that's why we brought Hector and Ardora in to kind of oversee this stuff, so we can make sure that things are, I mean, the new Turner project over here. I went over there when the rain came, with the big storms. I was out there with an umbrella and walking in the rain. I mean, of course, it's still a lot of dirt out there, so a lot of the culverts were getting clogged up. But, and the water was moving quick. I mean, and it was moving straight to that retention pond. And Hector helped us with that, making sure that everything was being done.
That's good.
So we hope that we can get it done, over there in the neighborhood, and we don't have to deal with that for a few years, so. Any other questions? All right, well, we have a motion to accept the bid from J. Carroll Weaver for the 2006 street improvement projects from Alderman Huerta, second by Alderman Falcon. So we'll move on with the vote. Place 1,
Yes.
place 2,
Yes.
place 4,
Yes.
and place 5.
Yes.
So the motion carries.
Thank you, Hector.
Thank you, Hector.
Thank you,
Appreciate it. Thanks
Hector.
for everything you do for us. Item C, discuss, consider, and take action to approve a 12-foot variance on each side of the house property located at 1302 Cook Avenue, owned by Dolores Sanchez.
Make a motion we approve it's 2-foot variance for the property.
A second.
So I have a motion by Alderman Falcon to approve the variance and second by Alderman Huerta. So we'll go ahead and open it up for discussion. I know you guys already had this meeting
Mhm.
earlier, so I think
We
everything.
got squared away.
Got squared away.
Everything.
So
Yeah.
if there are no more discussion, we'll just move to the vote. Place 1,
Yes.
place 2,
Yes.
place 4,
Yes.
place 5.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries on here. Item D, discuss, consider, and take action to approve the renewal of the interlocal agreement between the city of Odom and the San Patricio County for limited animal control. Before we kind of get a motion on that, I think there was an issue, Effie, that you wanted to address, since Ms. Lisa's not here.
I think they had sent the contract to me to look at it. But the contract was fine, because this is a contract that we worked out the first time around. And I think what ended up happening is that the county is the one that drew up the contract at the end. We had done ours, and then I think I worked with Chris Dorsey on this, and this was their contract. The only thing that I think needs to be changed on this are the dates.
We don't want to have the contract.
And I talked to Lisa, because they had sent an email saying, you know what, we haven't gotten, I guess, a response back from you guys, because I hadn't looked at it yet. So let's just take it off the document, we'll put it back in the next document. So I don't think we have the current version.
Of the-
For the date.
Make a motion we table item D for renewal of agreement.
Second.
So I have a motion by Alderman Falcon to table the action item D and a second by Alderman Garza. Okay, so we'll open up to any discussion. Anyone have any other?
Well, actually, we didn't have it in here, so we didn't have it in the
Yeah.
package, so we didn't go. We don't have-
Yeah, according to Ms. Lisa, we hadn't gotten the updated one, so
Just take it.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move to a vote. Place one,
Yeah.
place two,
Yes.
place three,
Yes.
place four,
Yes.
place five.
Yes.
So the motion is table, item E, discuss, consider, and take action to waive the fees for the Veterans of Foreign Affairs, Chapter 387, for the use of the Odom City Park for their annual event on October 16th and 17th. So do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we accept to waive the fees for the veterans.
I have a motion by Alderman Garza. Do I have a second? And a second by Alderman Vine. So we'll go ahead and open it up for discussion. Dave, if you want to just come up in case we have any questions for you. This is the event that we had last year with the barbecue cook-off. Now that the Sinton VFW and the Annabelle VFW, is that Cal Allen?
A lot of things transpired since last year. The comes to find out that the Sinton and Cal Allen posts were both going to have to close due to lack of membership and participation. So instead of both having to close doors, we took it upon ourselves to merge together. So we are now Sergeant Rook / Corporal Barrett Memorial Post 3027 as of 4 months ago. We are now covering Cal Allen, Annabelle, Odom, and Sinton. That is our area. These fundraisers we do, like in the park and stuff, all these monies, we are trying to get away from the label we have of just veterans sitting around drinking. A lot of people got that in their mind. That's all we do. No, we don't do that. We have just given out $2,000 in to 2 high school students for college, go to college. The new guys at the post over there thought that was pretty cool. We are talking about doing it for these other towns, Odom, one for each one, Sinton, Odom, Cal Allen, and Toloso, which will be $4,000 a year. We also sponsorship and do a Boy Scout group. We do have the building in Cal Allen, but we also allow a dance group come there and use it for free. So they have a place to practice their dance and whatever else in there. All this money we collect, we do different things with it. It just ain't for us, but we pass it along to the community.
Mhm.
So when we come out to ask for a fundraiser and help us to do what we do, it's not just for us, we're putting it back to the communities. We also try to help other vets. VA don't ever cover, everything 100%. Times are rough these days, and they're on certain incomes. Talk to him later. So we build handicap ramps. There are some veterans that can't get the bills paid. We do have programs, but it takes a while to get them into the program. But they need it now. Electrical bill, water bill. Things go up. And you gotta get these people taken care of. I'm a vet. My whole family was a vet. I'm sure y'all got vets in y'all's families or somebody's serving now. But, these vets and the people serving is why we're here, to have what we got. So when I come up and ask to use the park and stuff, yes, these funds are to go help all these individuals. That is basically what we're working toward on all this other stuff we're fundraising.
And tell us a little bit, that there are other items on the agenda that are also part of this. Tell us a little bit about what else that you would like the city, before we move on to those other items. You could just tell us a little bit about what else you'd like the city to.
What I'm asking for is to use the park, the restrooms, and cut out the t-shirts like I did last year. We probably won't use the pits. We didn't use them last year, but we used the area. I'm looking to make this event bigger. I am. I'm looking into a car show and bike show this year. We had 21 vendors last year and 12 teams. I'm looking to hopefully double that this year. I am on my own looking at not just a little small band. I'm talking to bigger bands. I'm trying not to get this out there too yet. I'm still trying to get in contact with them. I'm looking at,
George Strait?
I tell you what, I got a girlfriend who would like that to happen.
I don't know, you were having trouble, I said, well, let me just
But-
throw a name.
But he's on my radar. But, I can't think of his name right now.
You make a lot of
Uh,
money.
There's two of them. They're both from out there.
Ricky Trevino.
No, the,
Country?
yeah, they're country.
Robert Ray's from Alice. He's a pretty good local.
Roger Prager.
Roger Krager.
All right.
And, I'm looking at him, I'm waiting on getting the phone number to talk to their agent. I've tried to talk to the Post and I've tried talking to Midnight Rodeo, but they're not gonna give me no help on how to contact agents. So I got some bands that know people. One of them does know George Strait's drummer. Like I said, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So, you
I don't think we
know,
had to close down the highway, man.
but, you know, if I get a big enough
To
band, I'll
close the
draw a
whole
crowd.
city.
And yes, we're looking to maybe this year serve liquor. And I know y'all guidelines is having a beer garden.
Mhm.
I'm working on that too. I've already been looking at that. We will have security. I will have to do private security this year because Austin told me he's gonna get,
Oh, Shrimpery, yeah.
and all this stuff's gonna be over there. But, I'm already look at the private security. I know we gotta do that. We do have a beer license. It is up in July, but we have to renew it because we got that post over there to keep running. And we are able to use that license out for 3 or 4 events throughout the year off our,
Off the grounds, off the
Off the
property,
grounds.
yeah.
so, I'm looking at, you know, maybe LNF or Andrew, somebody helping to sponsor, setting that up, you know. We have more people with the 2 posts together now that help out. So I'm just asking to allow us to do this and see what happens. We had a good time last year, pretty good crowd. All my vendors got their money back, was asking, will we do this again? And the cookers, so. We really had no problems last year. I know Mayor was there, Jesse was there a little bit, but I encourage all y'all to come out, enjoy
I
the
wasn't
music.
out of town.
If I get a good enough band, I'll probably have to charge for the music.
Sure.
But, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta spend money to make money.
Well, George Strait was in the Army.
Yeah.
He does support the veterans, but he does it for a different way.
I'm sure.
So, you know,
You don't have a
I
big enough
can't,
venue to
you know.
bring him.
I take it one step at a time.
That's right.
That's right, baby step.
Baby steps. So I am looking to make it, you know, grow it every year. I like to have something for the kids. You know, I mean, the mayor's been helping me last year. He's going to help me this year. Anybody else up here wants to help?
Oh, hell.
Let me know.
Well, I think the Lions will be doing something as well, and the Odom Exes are also gonna, you know, kind of do something as well.
So-
So we might even have a team out there competing. So,
I
so will
mean,
we hopefully have,
I'm keeping for the prices the same. 140 for the teams, do all your entries. This year, I have decided to do something different with the trophies. And I'm getting them donated. But I got a guy who does engraving. And he is gonna do me some ammo cans, the metal ones, and turn them into trophies.
Mhm.
And that's gonna be my trophies for this year. Not for the kids section, working something different on that one. And each one of the places, first, second, and third, and grand champion will get 1 coin made, which they call a challenge coin,
Mhm.
because it makes challenge coins.
Right.
along with their trophy. So that's something different than just a regular trophy, because ammo cans they use on their pit, they put stuff in it and store it. But it's something different. And this is what I'm bringing to y'all, if y'all willing to help us out with this project.
Have you looked at getting it sanctioned?
We did sanctions before, we lost money. It all has to do with the sanction. Here's the problem with the sanction. And I did sanction before, and I learned from the sanction, and I ran it with the same rules they did. And the guy that runs them down here, I'm friends with him, we talk on a regular basis. It's judging, it's the judges. Because you gotta have 18 to 30 judges for each category. At these small events, you can't get that.
I guess
I
it,
did.
it depends on which sanctioning body, because there's like a
So-
bunch of different ones.
And then it's your sponsorship, and then your payout for your prize money. Because you pay out over $5,000 in prize money. Last year, on the last one we made about $3,200. So if we'd had sanctioned, we still would have lost.
Yeah.
Because all about that prize money. So that's why we don't do sanction. And we do get some sanctioned people come to them. Because when I'm holding it, season's over with.
Yeah.
Because the last one it's the weekend right before Skidmore time. So weekend after Skidmore. Skidmore's the last sanction before the year, end of the year. So,
Good planning.
so I do check in IBCA. I know Mike, and I talk to him on a regular basis. But doing sanctions sometimes ain't always a good thing.
Well, anything that, hopefully this will happen. We can make this happen again this year. I think folks had a lot of fun. The kids had a lot of fun, doing the Friday night cook-off thing, being out there with their dads and, actually being the ones. I even heard some kids say, "Dad, I'm supposed to do it myself," because dads want to stick their hands in there and,
Yeah, no, there's rules.
so.
The only thing parents are allowed to do is either cut the meat and start the fire. Kids gotta do the rest.
Yeah. That's what I heard. Some of the kids, getting on their dads because dad wanted to open the pit and
So,
move things around.
but,
And
having
but
kids,
it looked fun.
It's gotta start somewhere. And getting kids involved, giving them something to do, it's good. And then giving them a trophy.
Well, then, so any other questions? So we have a motion to approve the waiving of the fees by Alderman Garza and second by Alderman Veit. Let's go ahead and move on with the vote. Place 1,
Yes.
place 2,
Yes.
place 4,
Yes.
place 5.
Yes.
Okay, so motion carries. Item F, along the same lines, Dave, I guess you could probably stay up there. Discuss, consider, and take action to approve a temporary closure of Klein Avenue and Humphreys surrounding the Odom City Park for the VFW annual event, October 16th and 17th. I have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
So I have a motion by Alderman Falcone. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Alderman Garza. So we're going to have to open it up for discussion. So
Humphreys and.
Humphreys by the fire department
Mhm.
and then Klein.
Yes.
So last year you had the pits on Humphreys.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit what
This
you're,
year is probably the same thing, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk with the teams prior, and they're not gonna allow no parking. I'm gonna have them help me get no parking over there in front of those businesses, because I know there was a little problem last year. And I talked to Oscar about it, he goes, well, that's public parking. You
Yeah.
really can't do nothing about it. I said, well, I understand that, but the mayor's getting calls, we gotta take care of it. So he went over there and got some of them out of there. I am going to talk to Danny again about his lots, get a key to it again, which would probably be no problem to use those two deals.
the auction place? Yeah.
And my game plan is to talk to all the cooks, to keep all their vehicles mostly out of there. Because if I have more teams in there, then they definitely won't have their vehicles. So
What do you plan to do with the cars and
I was gonna try to do them over there by the storage building area.
like on Klein?
Yes.
Okay.
If, I'm trying to get somebody to run that for me. The people I was going to do it, can't do it right now, so, I'm trying to find somebody who would do that for me.
Would be ideal too, if we had that little parking area that you would design right there.
So,
It's gonna be brought up, it's gonna be brought up.
but I am trying to do that,
It'll be perfect.
so, but I already got vendors knocking on my door. What window? I said, I gotta make sure I got the venue first.
I mean, on Humphrey, you could probably take that right side all the way down to almost to where the Dolores and them live, because those are all vacant. You can maybe close half the street
Oh,
there.
yeah. Well, I think
You know
there's
what I
a,
mean? Half the
Past
street.
Chapa.
Yeah, because the Chapa,
I
You know, just
know,
kick-
and then on the right,
the right side all the way down to pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah,
okay.
half the street. I mean, as long as they can get in and get out.
Yeah.
And you can park right there, you can double park.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You should be a big, well, get a plenty of cars in there. And then behind the
we
fire
could probably
department.
show them.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
behind the
we'll,
fire department.
we could probably get with you when the time comes to kind of show you what it is we're talking about, because I don't think you can see it on that map there.
Is it back, like this, we're talking about this way?
Yeah, right there.
What about, one of your father-in-laws? Who's there? You think of it? Maybe it's,
There you go. Yeah, well, I mean, we have the city parking lot across the street now that, we can use that as well. So we'll work that logistical thing together. Yeah.
We got this area back here too.
Yeah.
Right here.
we're in putting the vendors.
The vendors I did. A lot of vendors. In the grassy area. Over here this way.
Put it in here.
Yeah, this one right here. Over here we had them, because we said about 22. but they
Because
want-
I wonder if he can put, because I don't think there's water over here. If he can put some of the trailers up there. The barbecue trailers. Where that water is, and we always say, we know what it is. Well, we want to build a basketball court. If he can line up,
We like everything out there, yeah, as long as it's not raining or anything.
I want to tear down the other one. I want to tear down that one. There's this. Right here. Let me show you. Right here.
I'm gonna try to tear it down for about 10 years.
Nobody knows where it is. So.
It used to be in the big city area where the water tower.
It's about 5 inches, 6 inches of concrete, and then the ceiling is also concrete.
We used to have electrical all the time, we didn't put wiring in there. But we could probably, yeah, I mean, if there's no rain or anything, probably get some wiring on, because there are no sprinklers.
We got the lights now.
My thing with it is, I'm gonna ask a question, I don't know if you know, the answer, Dave. Because I've already checked into it, it's supposed to be Dixie. Or the beer garden. But that was going to go all over the park. Yeah, we looked about. I priced it for 100 feet. It's $40. For 400 feet. Yeah. Orange mesh? Oh, no, this is actual, chain link fence. They're portable sections. They're 10-foot or 12-foot sections, for like construction sites that are clamped together with the orange traces. Yeah, we don't want people walking out of there with alcoholic beverages. We need to keep everything contained when it comes to beer and stuff like that. So, I mean, the best option for you would be to, if you don't want to convince. Yeah, not going to is the people that couldn't run on right here. I mean, I can give you the information on the company that we hired to do I don't know what the price is now, and if you want to fix in, it just depends on where you're gonna put the music and all that, so, just all the logistical things that we'll have to talk about. Yeah, we got a bit of a thing. Well, I can, well, get with me afterwards, because I have somebody who could probably get you those numbers that you're looking for. I'll reach out to agents for, bands. So we'll just talk afterwards, and, I'll reach out to them, and, because they always do like specials on
Gregor
TV.
and the one he sings with, they're playing next weekend. I think at.
They do it, a lot of these bands play at the, what's the
Good to
place?
know. Good to
By
know.
the Hook
Gregor
Stadium?
and,
Roosters?
Brewsters.
yeah, they're playing at Roosters, I think, Gregor and,
Is it Randy Rogers?
no, it's his last name's
Fowler.
You could probably contact
Kevin
Brewsters.
Fowler?
Kevin Fowler.
You could probably contact Brewsters, and
But
they
a
might
friend
be
of mine's
able to
got
help you.
contact with Kevin Fowler, so she's trying to get his number.
Okay.
You're gonna have a Kamuka band too.
You gotta have Tejano on Saturday.
Hey, I'm not going.
Have a DJ.
The spasmatic.
The Spasmatics, there you go. I love those guys.
Spasmatics ain't
Those-
the Sahana band. I remember when Spasmatics came out of B-Ville, I remember when they were on the street corner.
Yeah, they're pretty good now. All right, well, then, we have no more discussion on the
Close.
block closing of the Humphreys and Klein. We'll move on to a vote. Place 1,
Yes.
place 2,
Yes.
place 4,
Yes.
place 5.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. We're gonna move to item G here. Discuss, consider, and take action to approve the sale of beer at the Odom City Park for the VFW annual event on October 16th and 17th, contingent upon compliance with all Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission requirements and submission of liability insurance coverage, including commercial general liability insurance with a minimum limit of 1 million per occurrence and 2 million aggregate. All right, do you have a motion to open for that?
Make a motion that to approve the sale of beer at the city.
So I have a
park.
motion by Alderman Garza. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And I'll, second by Alderman Huerta. So we'll go ahead and open that up for discussion. You said you guys have I know you guys, because they run the bar over there. So they can use it for special
Yes.
events, special events permit or license to TABC. So obviously we would need that, we'd like it at least a month before. So we make sure that we can get it through council, everything gets approved. And of course, the insurance coverage. There's not going to be a carnival, so I can tell you right now, just from my experience, if you're going to have a carnival, liability goes up. So of course, also Epi, since on the liability insurance, there's something they have to put in there, right? That to something for the Odom.
They're gonna include us, the city, as part of the,
As additional insured.
yeah.
And then, well, under these guidelines, it also tells them, so if you take this, it tells you all the stuff like aluminum bottles only, no one to leave the premises. And then it says, to include City of Odom as certificate holder.
You got it, yeah.
You
We
know.
have the copy of what when OEA had theirs, right?
Well, he got a copy now, so
Yeah, I got a copy.
Yeah,
we got 2, 3 copies.
all you do is call your insurance
Yeah.
carrier and say, City of Odom, just add them in there and that's it.
But currently Odom doesn't have a liquor version of this, correct?
We don't.
That's why they have to get the insurance.
So they'll have to
Yeah,
supply the special permit from TBC, because it is a little bit different than running an establishment. But since they're kind of I guess a nonprofit organization, they might have kind of their permit might be, like you said, there might be a little special something in that permit. Because most establishments, if they're gonna, like with the one that we used before, they have to go and get a special permit, which is like $9,000, to get that permit. So, but in their case, they're probably already covered through TABC, and they will be out here. If you need like servers to work,
We got on bartenders.
okay, because I know some people that'll work
be
on
licensed.
tips, so, but.
Yeah, Jessica had, I still won, I agreed 3. I already seen.
He'll pay himself.
There you go.
A good pay.
Yeah. So,
Is it,
any other?
is it just beer or?
It's just beer.
It's just beer. It'd be
But
beer.
Okay.
y'all looked into doing that as liquor maybe, or
You
Yeah.
what?
did y'all say y'all looked into doing liquor or no?
As far
That's a
as-
separate permit.
That's-
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know if that was, I thought
Yeah,
you
no,
said
no.
earlier
Right,
that
yeah.
they were looking into.
It's just to sell beer.
One step at a time.
I mean, it's a good
As he
question.
grows.
It's a good question, but trust me, the liquor license
Big
is.
time.
Liability goes up
Expensive.
higher
Yeah,
too.
it
So,
goes up higher.
Make sure we have one
It's a beer and wine license, and then you go to the liquor license. That's really
Yeah.
pricier, a little more.
well, if we do go with Andrews, oh, he's not here. I was thinking maybe we get Troy Aikman to come out, maybe the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, or they're cowboy.
Well, I figured he'll show up
and
in the Dallas Cowboy cheerleading now.
it might be a good attraction,
You might
having
show up
Troy
in a
Aikman.
limo.
What do they call them? Cowboy fans around here.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions? FP, do you have anything? Okay. So we have a motion by Alderman Garza and second by Alderman Huerta to approve the sale of beer at the Odom City Park on October 16, 17, contingent upon compliance with all TABC requirements and liability insurance coverage. We'll move on to a vote. Place 1,
Yes.
place 2,
Yes.
place 4,
Yes.
and place 5.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item
I have a
8.
quick question.
Yes, sir.
I've got 10 porta potties required. With the bathrooms over there, is that still required?
I don't think that you're gonna need that many. We didn't need that many, but I think we'll probably have to discuss that as we get closer to it. I do think that you would probably need 2 handicap, at least for people in wheelchairs, because, if it gets crowded inside the regular bathrooms, it's hard to get somebody in there when there's, 5.
I'm just asking
4 or 5
questions, I know
people.
what I gotta go do.
Yeah, so we'll get with you on that.
Because I already have a dumpster.
Yeah.
'Cause I do that every year anyway.
All right. All right, so we'll move on to item H, discuss, consider, and take action to adopt a City of Odom policy governing travel and related expenses for employees and council members. I have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
So I have a motion by Alderman Falcone. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by Alderman Garza. So we'll open it up for discussion. David, it looks like you're good. We just have to kind of do the little logistical things before we'll bring it back to the council, just let them know where everybody is, maybe next month's meeting. And you just kind of finalize everything here over the next month.
All right,
All right, Dave, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you, David.
thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll open it up for discussion. Miss Betsy, I know that Miss Lisa's not here, but if you want to just kind of brief us on what you and Miss Lisa and kind of talking about.
So, it had came up at the EDC meeting that we should have one, that way the rules are just clear and everybody knows what to expect. There's not a bunch of questions going on. So, they had put this together, the EDC attorney, and then they kind of changed up some of the wording to make it City of Odom, and I think added some more stuff on here. I know a while back ago, I had talked to TML about insuring, like who's insured in the vehicle. And from how I understand it, and maybe go through FB and like looking at it harder, like that spouses would be allowed to go to TML events in that car. I don't think they would be allowed to drive, and maybe other arrangements, maybe they would be allowed to drive if that was written in the policy. I know that's been something that's came up numerous times.
So did we reach out, and TML is our insurance, they cover our insurance
Yes.
with the vehicles, so we reached out to them, and, you know, did they require any kind of, what's it called, indemnity? Epi, is that what it's called, indemnity, something?
Yeah, like an indemnification of the city, where they won't sue us. But yeah, normally that's included in there. That way, you know, there's no hesitation or doubt about what's being covered or not covered.
Okay.
The family member would sign a waiver and release you of that liability.
And then there's
That's
I
the
think,
next
a
one.
copy of the waiver, and I guess that would be for any type of, like, if they're staying in a hotel with you, it's paid for by the cities, like, if they damage something, which, you know, it's just,
Or they drink everything inside the refrigerator that costs like
Yeah.
$10 for a soda. I learned that the hard way.
I put it there, right?
It's, yeah, exactly. I thought it was free.
Yeah.
If you deal with other cities, do they have something like this? Other cities do, how do other cities do it? I mean, or do they?
I haven't seen that in the other cities that we have.
What is their policy about, you know, travel?
They just take their own cars, right?
What they've done in the past, you know, the cities, even here, I remember when we go to TML or I would always drive with my own, and I think everybody else would have their own transportation. Their spouses would go in, their significant others. The city would pay for the room. The spouses would stay in that room. And there was a per diem, I think there was a per diem for meals, but I never, you had to come back and submit your bill, your receipts, and I never did that. But I don't know if that was part of the policy that we had here, or was just the way that things.
We've
were
never
done.
had a policy.
No, it's just the way gas
We-
gets expensive nowadays.
Yeah,
with road and stuff.
What, the per diem and all that came years later.
Yeah.
That we used to follow what school does or other cities,
Right.
or across state level. So, and I think it was X amount of cents per mile and all that stuff.
Right.
So,
I think the issue that I had when I discussed it with the previous administrator, well, both the previous administrators, was that we were paying the per diem in advance. And when I worked in the state, I work for the county now, they don't pay you they tell you, this is what you have for breakfast, this is what you have for lunch, and this is what you have for dinner.
Right.
This is what we're gonna reimburse you for. It's reimbursed. So we have to keep our receipts.
Right.
We have to submit it with the reimbursement sheet stapled on there, turn them in, and they'll reimburse us up to. So if I decide to go eat breakfast for $30 and they're only gonna cover 12, well, they're only gonna give me $12 back. You know, same thing with lunch and dinner. If I go out to a dinner and it costs me $50 to eat dinner and they're only gonna reimburse me for 15 or 18, then they're only gonna give me that. Where here, they were paying upfront in a check to, okay, it's $50 a day per diem for lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm just using on, I don't know what it is right off the top of my head, but
it varies by if it's in Corpus or if it's in Austin or if it's in Dallas.
so then
it
they would
does.
just write a check for, you know, $50 a day times however many days you're going to be on this trip. Which, I mean, in most trips, we don't eat breakfast out because the hotels we stay in are nice enough,
Right.
luxury enough that we have breakfast served to us for free. And a lot of these events that we go to, we don't eat lunch because most of these people that are hosting the event provide lunch for us, right?
Right.
So the only real meal that we have is dinner, but we end up, you know, the city ends up paying multiple employees, you know, thousands of dollars, you know, for all these meals that we typically won't eat because, you know, we get free breakfast and free lunches in most of these places. So in order to try to, you know,
Can we add that?
So
Yeah.
I put a list of like questions like that have like commonly like came up, and this would be something that y'all could like look at and say like, this is something we want in to add to the to change on it,
Okay.
or this is something that,
But I like what he's doing, like I
Left up
said,
to later.
most of the things is breakfast, so we're wasting money, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
just basically reimbursement, just bring in
Yeah.
receipts.
Our receipts.
That's the way, other cities like George West, Aransas, when I've gone with them, it's a reimbursement,
yeah.
bring it back and they reimburse you.
But as far as the miles,
Yeah.
the miles should be.
Yeah, miles and miles.
Right.
Miles and
Yeah.
miles, yeah.
Miles, we just need to come up with what are we gonna pay per mile? You know, I think right
Miles and
now the
miles,
going
yeah.
rate is like 49 cents a
It's
mile.
the
I think-
IRS.
Isn't that IRS, is that?
Yeah, there's an
Yeah.
index that we used and that's
Yeah,
why.
mileage is different, yeah, because,
something
you know,
that came up, last TML, like, is maybe have a clarifying policy of like, if it's cheaper to fly, then, and to do like whichever one's better.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's what they do at the county where right now, I mean, where I work now, if it's cheaper to fly to Dallas than it is and rent a car over there for 2 or 3 days than it is to drive over there, you know, they're gonna go with whatever's cheaper. So,
Right.
and we don't really have an option unless you have a medical reason you can't fly, so. But I think that's something else that we need to look at and consider.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the miles, should be paid because if you use your own vehicle, that's wear and tear on your own vehicle.
yeah,
But, again, I like the way it says that the city encourages for the, city vehicle to be used.
Right.
And that way, because we always used the vehicle
on
back in the
that,
day.
on that point, Billy, do we get a city credit card for the gas?
If we go in a city vehicle, you
You
will
get, you
be.
get the
Yeah.
gas
Yeah,
card?
we have a
Okay.
Valero cards
yeah.
now.
Okay, I didn't know, I've never used
Yeah.
it.
Check it out for you.
Yeah, you would get a city card for
I think
fuel.
I think one of the, when I used to use it, when I've used it before, you would have to, save the receipts and then they would reimburse you if you can get a city card.
Yeah, well, that's because we didn't have we only got gas from Planners, but
Yeah.
now we have a Valero card.
Okay.
We can get it multiple places. I think Exxon, it covers several
Yeah.
gas stations. So now we have, and they'll issue one out to you, and, you know, you'll take it
Need
with
just to
you.
sign it.
You'll sign out for it, obviously, and,
That's how we did it when Yoda was here. We
Mhm.
used to sign up.
yeah, so,
Just like the guys.
But is it in there that, I don't know, for the meals that we get, you have to turn in, there's something? we
not
add?
yet.
No,
I
it
think
needs to
this
be
is not the
changed.
final, this is not the final, this is just kind of a quick draft.
The draft, okay.
So we're just kind of considering kind of.
So add on there, like y'all said, you can always add on there, depending on the function.
Mhm.
If meals will be paid, then you will take advantage of that.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You would get reimbursed if
Like I
But if you're
said, something like,
going to-
if the hotel has breakfast, we ain't gonna pay you breakfast.
But if you're going like EDC or whatever, because we wanted to incur, this with EDC, we
Right,
want
right.
to implement this as well. So let's say you go to EDC, you stay at a hotel that breakfast is included, then we're not gonna reimburse you for breakfast. But then, and lunch, if they provide lunch, then you're not getting reimbursed for that.
They usually do, for
Yeah, you
EDC.
got, however, the dinner, then you gotta bring it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
But
dinner,
sometimes
you-
like, I won't eat like the lunch that's provided and I'll just go and somewhere and grab me something quick because I don't like the food.
well, there's times
Because
when
I'm
you don't,
picky, but
you can't.
Yeah.
Well,
you
that's
can't
your
leave.
problem.
You can't, there's times you can't leave.
it's like make things to make you.
Pack your
picky,
sack
but-
lunch.
Yeah.
Stop at Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Get you something.
Yeah.
Then it's up
Yeah.
to, as a whole to decide if,
Yeah.
do you want to eat their food or you want to eat, you know.
Yeah. Well, I know that we've done that at TML a couple times where some of the vendors are having luncheons, but you know what? Let's just go over here, you know, because that's gonna be packed anyway, so.
Sure.
But as far as
so-
a meal, there's also an index as far as how much is allowed for breakfast, how much is allowed for lunch, and how much is allowed for dinner.
Yeah.
So there is an index. You're not gonna get no 30, 40 bucks in the evening for, you know,
Mhm.
so.
You ate
So I
steak,
think
you
if we
come
do a
back, you get
reimbursement, on the meals, I think it'll be better. It'll save the city, money in the future. Of course, mileage, you know, if they're gonna take their own personal vehicle for whatever reason, we might have to look at, giving them that I mean, if it's mileage, we're gonna do mileage kind of the typical way. If you choose to go
Usually the
through.
way we did it is Google.
Right.
Google, fastest route, that's
Yeah,
it.
exactly,
Yeah, that's
fastest
the-
route.
that's the-
Yeah,
Waze,
fastest route.
now it's Waze.
That's the word I was looking
Oh,
for. Yeah, the fastest route, now if you
Yeah,
choose
In
to,
my limousine service, that's how I charge the client. I said, look, for me to get from here to Victoria, I go Google, that's why I'm
That's
charging
true.
you, So,
yeah, because
thing.
that's
Same
probably,
thing.
that's the term we need to put in there, the fastest route. So,
So if we gotta amend this, I mean, should we table it?
Well, the number 3 is pretty good. It says meals, and it says, consider how meals provided by conference or hotels will be effective reimbursement. That's pretty good. Maybe add that one on number 3 on the travel pod considerations.
The wording, I think, because it says per diem.
well, we're not necessarily adopting
No,
this,
yeah.
this draft. We just want to approve adopting
Okay.
Any, whatever.
And then just bring it
governor,
back.
yeah, once we get everything done and.
This is good. It says however,
Yeah,
conference or
Yeah.
hotels will affect reimbursement.
Reimbursement, yeah.
That's a good one. See that, Betsy?
So I think the motion is to just adopt a city of Odom policy governing travel, not necessarily, this one.
That's what-
We'll get with Epi, change the words, get with the lawyer, I guess. I mean, Epi, did you get a chance to see this? Or this? Okay.
I just saw it today.
Okay. So we'll get with you. We'll kind of, Betsy, you'll just have to look, what the, mileage fees are out there, what the per diem are, what's out there through the IRS and stuff, and, kind of stick those things in. Maybe you can send a draft to email to everyone. They can review it, and see before we come back and vote on it, maybe for the next, to adopt that particular draft, the final draft.
And show it to it
All
so
right.
we can.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and move forward on the motion to adopt the city of Odom policy governing travel and related expenses for employees and council members. Place 1,
Yes.
place 2,
Yes.
place 4,
Yes.
and place 5.
Yes.
Okay, so motion carries. We're going to move on to item Roman numeral 4, non-action review, Municode codification, city council, section D. You're going to have to, you have that with you? Article 2. So do I have a motion? Oh, this is a non-action item, I'm sorry. So it's just kind of a discussion. Got it up there, Betsy? I can't see.
Yeah, that's it.
I believe that is.
So kind of,
Can we just go to the,
you want to just kind of fill us in real quick?
so so the items previously considered by the council in order to conduct business in an orderly and efficient manner, the city council desires to avoid unnecessarily revisiting items and topics already considered. Accordingly, recently considered items will not be added to the agenda except in the limited circumstances stated below. For purposes of this policy, a recently considered item is one that was discussed at a city council within the preceding 12 months, which the council has approved, disapproved, or failed to take action due to a motion which died for the lack of a second. Notwithstanding the foregoing, an item recently considered by the city council may be added to the agenda by the mayor or council member who voted with the majority when the item was previously considered, who now desires to reconsider his or her vote. 2, failed to second a motion which died for the lack of a second, and who now desires to reconsider his or her failure to second the motion. Or 3, was not present when the item was previously considered, and the vote of the 4 other council members was 2-2.
So I think this was something that was passed, I guess, in the past. I don't know if it was,
Yeah.
Yes, but,
So-
okay, but this is in reference for what?
well, we just wanted to kind of bring it up again because I think there had been some things, and it wasn't really recently, but in the past, where Ms. Lisa was asking me about some things that we had discussed in previous council meetings before she was here. And I said, well, we really can't bring those items up yet. I said, I think there's a policy and ordinance in there. If you could just look that up for me, and maybe we can discuss it. I said, because I don't really know a whole lot about it. I said, it was kind of before my time. I said, but we
yes,
can't really
you're
put,
correct. This was passed, the section that's highlighted was passed, meaning that if us voted on it, and then Isaac was not here, and then he decides,
Yeah.
hey, I wasn't there
Bring
at
it
the
back up
meeting, but I
again.
want to bring it back
Yeah.
up. So that's what it pertains. But if it already passed and all of us are here, you can't bring it back
okay.
because it was already, that's why it says felt second emotion.
Even if it was tabled, I think, wouldn't it?
No, not the table,
Doesn't say
not
anything
the
about
table.
tabling.
It was actually passed.
Okay.
A table was,
Oh, we can bring it back.
basically, it
That's
says
what
we're gonna bring it
Yeah,
back.
that's true, that's true, that's true.
So that was just gonna, because she was asking me about, well, some things that we had. I said, well, Miss Lisa, I said, we can't put those things, it's my understanding. I said, but I don't really know. I said, look it up. I said, we'll discuss it at the council meeting. I said, because that was before my time, and I really haven't read it. I haven't read
Yeah.
into it. So I wanted to
No,
just kind of bring it
that's
up
why
with some
we
of y'all that
created
have been here.
Yeah.
Because there was new councilman coming in.
I'll bring that
Or,
back.
so, you know, hey, well, I wanted this, or I changed my mind, but it's too late. You
Okay.
already changed, you already voted on it. So,
Okay, all right.
but,
So that's kind of
now-
what I wanted. I just wanted some input.
but I'm glad
because-
you brought this up because also this section right here where it says agenda items as directed by a council member and or mayor, 2 council members may request of the mayor to place new items of business on a city council meeting agenda for discussion. But there's also a new ordinance under the mayor ordinance that says the mayor shall allow a council member to go ahead and, that's why Isaac brought it up 2 months ago, I think. So that one overrides that section.
Hmm.
Because here, the way I read it, it's saying, well, it doesn't say, it just says 2 council members may request. It doesn't say 2 council members shall. You understand what I'm
Mhm,
saying?
mhm.
But if you look at the mayor, the mayor's ordinance says the mayor shall allow each council member to put an item on the agenda.
Right.
It doesn't
And
say.
that, yeah,
two.
and that's what
Okay.
I've always done. I mean,
Right.
if it's one guy, if it's important enough for one person on this council to put it on the agenda, you know,
Okay.
I've always been kind of consistent
So
with that,
maybe this means like items that are already been passed, items that, but that's why we created this, because it was coming back.
Okay.
And we're like, hey, we already voted no.
Okay, well, I just wanted to get a better understanding. That's why, you know, because Ms. Lisa was asking about some things
Yeah.
that maybe we should talk about. I said, well, I don't think we can, but now that we kind of
But
have a little.
A table,
No,
does
table
not-
can come- no.
it doesn't count
I'm thinking
because it
it's
ain't
different,
passed.
They can come
Okay.
back.
All right, well then, I think we're gonna go ahead and get a motion to adjourn.
May I ask a question?
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
ma'am, I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? I also have to do something.
So listening to this, are we gonna even think about or wait for talking about a police department until budget time?
I think it's probably the best thing to do. I think we've discussed it with Epi as well, that we really need to see where our financials are because we have so many other things that we need to do. We're working on finishing up the TCQ.
I just,
So,
y'all don't live up, most of y'all don't live, Jesse does, but over there where the 4-way stop. Furthermore, I would still like us to pursue getting the flashing stop sign fixed,
that we can do.
please. But just today, there was a young man riding one of those scooters and he just went straight on down Cooper, never stopped, never looked. And
We always have
then
that problem.
but there's,
No, but there's cars that just passed.
Oh, I know, but
Yeah.
what we need is a speed hump. How about a speed hump?
I
Well,
don't,
guess what? I was gonna take a video, but the guy beat me. The speed bumps, they love them, the kids.
So,
well, and the other thing is
They gotta mess up their
about
car. Yeah.
10 days ago, there was someone driving a large SUV, and I'm telling you, they were going either 45 or 50 and never slowed down. Luckily I stopped because I got stopped there when we first had the police department and I went too far past the stop sign. But I stopped and that person never looked. Now that's
So-
way too fast down Cooper Road.
So I'll get with the SO about putting, because we had them out on this side of town just recently. And it was primarily for the semi trucks from the construction site that were not stopping,
Yeah.
and they gave out like 4 or 5 tickets,
Well,
or I
it's
don't know,
just-
warnings tickets. But I'll get with the SO about maybe stationing somebody out there periodically, and maybe we should consider speed bumps at least closer towards the stop
Something
sign.
to really
try to slow
stop
down.
that.
I mean,
I'm really
because,
concerned.
Mayor,
You know-
I was gonna suggest, I think we still have that, what do you call that, speed? I call it speed box, that we put aside the highway or by a road.
Mhm.
If we still
Oh,
have that,
that
we can
blinks
still
the-
utilize it and place it out there as a preventative measure.
It's over here by the,
'Cause
well,
they don't
that's the
know
sheriff's
whether-
department,
Oh,
the one
oh,
that's by Danny's,
oh,
and
that's
the
the
one that
one.
we have at the police department, it doesn't work. It was just given, it was donated to the PD and they were gonna fix it, but it never got fixed.
15,
And
20
I
cars a
mean,
day.
when I first came in, I had somebody come and look at it and they said it cost you more to fix it than to just buy a new one. So, I mean, it was something that was donated or given to the PD, and it was never really working. But they were gonna try to fix it, but it'd probably be, from what I got, somebody come look at it, they said it was probably gonna cost more to fix it than to just get a new one. But what we'll do is, I'll get with the SO tomorrow for sure,
Okay. Well,
to
it just,
get somebody out there,
I know I'm
um,
probably harping, but it just worries me to death. Every time I go out and walk my dog and I watch, and it's till 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Yeah.
But when that vehicle was going
Speed bumps will wake 'em up.
45 or
They gotta
50,
be up in your yard.
I've seen some crazy
no,
stuff
they
out
won't get
there.
on my yard. 'Cause
I've
it's-
seen vehicles stop at a stop sign, and then the people behind there, they just go right around.
Yep. Yep.
But-
Oh, we
Oh,
had
yeah.
one-
It's crazy.
one at
Well, it
night.
and it
happens-
never used to be like that.
It happens all over town mostly. I mean,
Well-
it's a new generation of drivers nowadays. I know Billy, because Billy drives a lot. So he probably sees now, there's just a new generation of younger drivers.
Yeah,
I mean,
an
when
older
we were
person's
in
not gonna
school-
do it.
Yeah, when we were in school, you'd go to the teacher's parking lot to the school and, there was maybe 20 cars that were all teachers' cars because none of us had cars.
Yeah,
Now you go to the parking lot and
everybody
the
has.
Everybody
kids
has
got better
cars.
cars than the teachers, so.
Well, and then that,
you know-
that young man that was on that scooter or whatever, that bike, electric bike is, and he just kept on going,
Yeah.
never.
Well, that's happening, that's kind of happening even in Corpus
All
now.
the
Everybody
time.
thinks that
Light
because
up
it's
at
an
night.
electric scooter, they don't have to follow the street laws, so.
Yeah.
Before we
Okay.
adjourn, I do want to kind of I want to kind of give out a shout out to our fire department.
Mm.
This year, this is for just 2026 or just year to date?
This is the calendar year 25.
So this is calendar year 25, which I guess last year. The city of Odom, fire department, volunteer fire department, had 114 out of number of county calls. The next nearest was Sinton at 107, and then everybody's down. So, the
That's awesome.
fire department, our volunteer fire department just got a check that was allocated to them by the county for their mutual aid calls of $77,286.90. So that's probably the
Wow.
biggest check I've seen since.
Yeah.
But that's a
I've been here.
subsidy,
Yeah,
so it
that's a
goes to the
subsidy.
city.
Well, it typically goes to the city.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that's a city.
Yeah, so,
Because- And that's high because
It
the
is.
most I've seen is in the 30s.
Exactly.
I saw
That's
one in
what
the
I saw.
like 40, I think.
Yes.
once.
Okay,
So-
now if it goes to the city, can we line transfer it back to the fire department?
Well, on budget time, that's when they come with a wish list.
Yeah.
And you just,
You can utilize
use
it
that
for that.
then.
Yeah,
That's
so,
awesome.
that's basically what you're doing is just,
Yeah.
they're giving us a subsidy because we're providing city-owned
Oh,
vehicles
yeah.
to go fight fire somewhere else. How many fires have we had here? Maybe one or two?
Yeah.
One?
So-
Fire, maybe?
So calendar year 2025, 114 calls,
That's
the
awesome.
most
That's a lot.
from
That
other
is awesome.
city. And so our guys are going out there and really helping out, not just our community, but the surrounding community. So I really want to just give them a shout out for everything that they do. So,
Can I piggyback on that?
yes, sir.
Something on Facebook came up with something going on in the fire. department.
Well, that's something else we'll discuss. It's
Okay.
not right now. It's not on the agenda.
No,
So,
I'm just
but we
asking.
can discuss it at
But,
a later
let me
time.
just-
Yes.
Just real quickly, I know it's not on the agenda, but we got a lot of grants and stuff coming up, so be aware. I think we're gonna talk about it on EDC.
Yeah.
So,
I think
About the
actually the
park.
fire department also got a grant
with
as
the
well.
park, so I'm just, a lot of things for the park for this October. This is good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
All right, so we had a motion to adjourn
So
by,
be, I will.
okay, Alderman Veit, second by Alderman Garza. So we are adjourned. Thank you, Ms. Donna.
Thank you, Donna.
Wow.
Sorry, we're adjourned. I'm joking. It's not city related.